Hey guys, it's Miss Ingram. I'm with you today to talk to you about your research project on phobias and to help you understand how to go about finding credible resources. Those are resources that have reliable information. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started by looking at this document, which just gives you some questions to consider. How do you know which websites are good to use? Okay, it's really hard to know. Originally, I was hoping to show you how to find great resources on our databases, on our library databases right here. Unfortunately, our databases do not have a lot of information on phobias, so we are going to have to move outside of the databases for this project to do some research out on the web. So it is important for us to talk about what we do when we move outside of those databases to understand the information that we're looking at and to be able to discern whether it is credible, reliable information. Okay? If if we were using our databases, we would 100% know that those are credible and authoritative. Authoritative means that they are written by experts. Okay, but since we're moving outside of there, we need to ask ourselves some other questions. Does it look professional? Now, we can't just rely on this, but you can kind of tell when you're on a website whether it was put together by people who are experts in their field. You'll be able to tell if it looks like it was made by someone much younger, um, maybe just a student that decided to experiment with creating a site. So you'll be able to tell pretty well by looking at a site. Again, that's not the only indicator. The next one is very important. Can you find the author? In a minute, I'm going to show you on an article that I found how to find where the author or authors are, because there could likely be more than one. But this is a really important indicator that you need to find. Does the site or the article that you're on show who's responsible for that information? Okay. And then is that person a credible person? If it's a company like Discovery Education or National Geographic, something like that, then you can have a lot of confidence in the credibility of that site. Can you tell if that author is an expert? Again, I'm going to show you in a minute on an article that I have that I found on a phobia. But you might have to do a little of your own research on the author to make sure that that author is in fact an expert on the topic. Another really important indicator is the date that the article or the website was published or updated. You always, of course, want the most current information. You do not want to use information from an article that was written 20 years ago, because hopefully discovery and research has led to new findings in your topic, and you want to get the most current information out there. And you might read an article and just know that something seems off or doesn't seem right. That would be a red flag. And the next indicator is also very crucial. Are there links to other pages and resources? Does the site that you're on show where they got their information? Because every researcher, even experts, they get information from other people. They collaborate with people to put their research together. So, did they cite their sources? Did they show where they got their information? That would be a really big sign to you that that is a credible site you're on. And also, this last one is huge. Such a big thing you can do to make sure that you're on the right track is to compare the information on the web page you're on with information in other, not only on other websites or maybe in a book. Okay, and of course you can find ebooks on your topic, but you can look at the information on the site you're on and compare it with other information and other resources. If they're all about the same, of course they're not going to be exactly the same, but if they're all about the same, then that can give you a lot of confidence in the information that you're receiving, that it is correct. Okay. All right, so let's take a look. I have another this PowerPoint that I want to show you, just this one slide, and I'm going to share this with your teachers. so that you can have it as a resource, okay? Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. You can have this as a resource while you're looking at your different websites, okay? And again, this is just some good questions you can ask yourself as you go through the process of finding information to make sure that it's credible. Websites are, a little easier to look at, especially if they come from an academic, like a .edu, or a government organization. You can know with great confidence that those are good sources. And also, this is another really important one, that the author is not showing any bias, like not talking about their opinion, but just giving you straight up facts. Okay. And then here's what I was just talking about, that the key points, the main ideas in your article, you can find those in other sites as well. So that's a really important way for you to discern whether your article is has great information or not. Okay, so I am going to show you an article. I chose acrophobia, the fear of heights, because I personally have a terrible fear of heights, and I thought it would be interesting to read about it, and it certainly was. And let's look first of all right here at the beginning, guys. It shows me that this article was reviewed by Timothy Leggett, PhD. That means he's a doctor, and doctor of education, probably, or psychology. And yes. So what I can do is, and what I did do is, I can click on his name and I can do a little research on him. That's what I talked about just a few minutes ago. I can do some research on him to verify that he is an expert on this topic. Okay, really smart thing to do. I can also go down here to the bottom. That's typically where you'll find some good information. If your website has an About Us section, that's a really good indicator to you that you're on a reliable site. If they provide information to you about who they are and also how to contact them, that's a positive sign that you're on a credible site. Okay, so now I'm on here. What am I going to do with this information? How am I going to begin to write my research and put it in my own words? So I'm going to start right up here and at the beginning of the article, and let's say I want to use information in this paragraph right here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and highlight it and copy it. And we are going to provide you with this template for digital note taking for your project. And this is how it's going to work. Okay, and there's some good questions for you to consider here that we just talked about. And right here, I've already done it, but let me do it over again for you. I like that paragraph that I found, so I'm going to paste it right here. And as you can see, it says direct notes. These are exact notes, the exact text from that article that I found that I decided was good and that I want to use for my research. Okay, those are the exact words from the article. I cannot use the exact sentences and words in my research paper because that's plagiarizing. I would be stealing someone else's work, and I cannot do that. It's actually against the law. Okay, and it's also against every academic law that you will read about in your future. So please don't ever do that. It will lead to great troubles for you. Okay, so what can I do? I can paraphrase. That means I can put it in my own words. Paraphrase from the left column and put it in your own words right here. Okay, so that's what I've done right here. I paraphrased the first sentence. The first sentence is the main symptom of acrophobia is an intense fear of heights marked by panic and anxiety. I put it in my own words and I said acrophobia is a great fear of heights that causes an individual to experience anxiety and hysteria. Okay, so I'm getting across the same idea, but I put it in my own words. Think of it this way. Whenever I try to paraphrase something, I read the original and then I try to think about if I was explaining it to someone else, if you were sitting here with me and I was trying to explain it to you, how would I say it in my own words? Okay, You cannot just change a couple of words, guys. You have to take the idea and then put it in your own words here. And you can continue to do that through here. And as it points out here to you, in case you forget, you can, it's right here to remind you, you can add more rows by clicking in the white space and just insert row below, okay? Because you will have to keep inserting rows to add more information there as you go along. The other important thing that I want to tell you is that if I'm writing my paper, I can't write my paper and just only use information from this one article. Your teachers will be talking to you about that, but a true research paper is based on information from several different sources. So I can't get everything, even though this is a great article, I'm going to have to continue searching so that I can get information from various sources. I'm not going to use everything from just this one. I want to have well-rounded research. I want to be able to see throughout different sites and articles that my understanding of acrophobia is complete. Okay, and then of course that's what I want to pass along to the reader of my research project. I have a great video that your teachers will also be sharing with you that will help you uh, as far as navigating through what a credible source is. All right, so just remember as you're taking your notes, super important, find a credible source and then put the information into your own words. Okay, very important. There are a lot of questions on here for you to consider as you do that, and think about those. Okay, because that's going to help you as you go through this process to make sure that you are not only re, uh, using research from experts, but that you're relaying that information properly in your own words. Okay. I'm excited for you guys. I think this is a fun project, and I look forward to reading your papers. Thank you so much.